a video discussing about the recently released CBSE syllabus uh, for informatics practices for class 12th. As you might have known that for the year 2020-21, for the academic session 2021, CBSE has released a new syllabus for the computer science and informatics practices subjects. Today we are discussing more the informatics practices subjects, and we are specifically targeting class 12 students. But this video is practically a starting video for Python Pandas. And this video, although it is specifically targeted towards class 12 students, but this video can be helpful for anyone who is interested into learning Python Pandas and how to start Python Pandas. How to start using Python Pandas actually, and why Python Pandas is required and not required. First, let me discuss about the syllabus which has been provided to us by CBSE for the year 2021. As you can see in front of you, this is the syllabus which has been offered for 2021 for the informatics practices. You have 4 units. One is Python Pandas and data visualization. Second unit is database query using SQL. Third unit is introduction to computer networks. And the fourth is societal impacts. These are the 4 units which has been introduced. These 4 units consists of the theory subject, and the theory subject will contain total 30 marks. The marks distribution is also provided. Pandas and data visualization will carry 30 marks, which is the most. Database and SQL query will contain 25 marks, which is the second most. Introduction to computer networks and societal impacts, both are theory topics, completely theory. They won't have any kind of practical implications, and that is why these subjects also carry less number of marks. One contains 7 and one contains 8, as you can see. So what can you basically expect out of this class 12 syllabus in comparison to what was previously present in 2019-20? Obviously the syllabus has been reduced by a considerable amount, and it has been made far easy and simple. So if you can focus on the topics which are provided, and if you can listen to my teachings the way I teach, you will be definitely getting very high scores, because the subject is easy and it's highly scoring. So today we are basically talking about the unit 1 and one part of unit 1. The unit 1 consists of basically two parts. One part is data handling using pandas, and the second part is data visualization. So these are two different parts combined into one unit. So today we are basically discussing about pandas in specific, how to install pandas, and uh, just to get a feel of how pandas is used for working and all. So let's get started. Well, see, pandas, as you have studied in class 11th, pandas is one module which is present in the Python program. Okay, this is not pre-installed. By the way, if you are going to attend this session and this series of pandas, then you would have to have a prerequisite of how Python works, what is Python modules, and just a little bit of information about Python in general. Okay, so basically Python modules is very important for us to know, and you might also have to know about another module inside Python, which is the NumPy module. Although NumPy module is not specifically mentioned here, class 11 students have already studied Python module, the NumPy module in Python, and that will be used while we are dealing with Python pandas. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So pandas is another huge module which is present in Python, which is not uh, provided at the get-go. When you go to like python.org and install Python, you would not get this module directly. So you would have to install this module separately using the pip command. Okay, if you're on Windows, what you can do is you can just write command prompt, go to command prompt, and there, since you're on Windows, you can write py space -m pip install pandas. Now, since I have already installed pandas, I don't think anything will happen in my computer. It will just show that requirements are already satisfied. But when you install it, it will take some time to install Python pandas. So this is the easiest way to install Python pandas in Windows. If you're on Linux system, you can just write sudo pip install pandas, and then you provide your username and password, and then the Python pandas will be installed. The same case can be done for other operating systems as well. Now, since we are working on Windows, we'll continue doing it like this. Okay, so once Python pandas is installed, this is very simple to install. Nothing to be done. Once you have installed Python, you can install the pandas module over it by using the pip command, pip install pandas. Okay, so once we are done installing pandas, we need to first understand why pandas is required. Okay, why is Python pandas required? So as you can see here, this is a PPT presentation. Here you can see that we are discussing about pandas library. So it is said that it's one of the most famous Python libraries which are available for data science, which offers powerful and flexible data structures that make data analysis and manipulation very easy. Okay, so these packages are built on other packages like NumPy and Matplotlib to give us a single and convenient place for data analysis and visualization of work. Okay, now let me explain how this is going to work. Okay, basically what happens is when you have a big chunk of data with you, suppose you are dealing with some kind of a sports data. Okay, like you're dealing with data like, you all must be familiar with Indian Premier League, the IPL, and you must be knowing there are so many statistics which are available for Indian Premier League, right? So there can be statistics of batsmen scoring runs in each game. There can be bowlers, how many wickets they have taken in each game, and which game was successfully organized, which game got delayed because of rain, which game got cancelled because of rain. Like in 2020, the IPL games have been shifted later because of this coronavirus. So which games were delayed, which games happened at the right time, who won which tournament, which game was won by who. So all these data for the last 10, 13 years, this is the 13th edition of IPL which is going to be held. For the last 13 years, all this data have built up. Okay, so like 50 games each tournament, 50 to 60 games each tournament, each year's tournament. So you can understand how long the data can go, right? So if such a big data is found and you need to find some information out of it, you need to make sense of all the data which has been there. So you would require huge data analysis software. Okay, you need to analyze the data faster and understand and make sense out of the data which has been provided to you, right? Let me show you an example. Okay, so I found a IPL statistics page, and this page is basically showing us the data of each and every match till season 9. Okay, I didn't find it till the recent season, so this is till season 9. This is the match record. Okay, so who played against who, what was the match date, what was the match ID, which team played which team, which season it was, what was the venue, who played who won the toss, what was the decision of the toss, whether there was a superpower or not, result was found or not. How did they win? Did they win by runs or did they win by wickets, or what was the case, whether it was a tie or not, who was the man of the match, and which country it hosted, which city it hosted in, who was the umpire. All these things are mentioned in this uh, CSV file. Okay, So suppose we are trying to find out who, how many matches or which matches were won by runs. Okay, so which matches were won by runs. So what we can do is, in this Excel sheet, we have got some powerful tools like win type. If we go to win type and we select only by runs, then what would happen is it will all give you all the games which has been won by runs. Okay, now if you want to find out which games were tied, only the games are tied. Okay, so we need only the tie games. We'll find that there are 5 matches which are tied. Okay, but the problem with Excel sheet is that when you do using Excel sheet, now the problem is that once the data set becomes very large, very huge, like I'll give you another example, which is a huge data set. I'll show you. See, this is, let it open. Okay, so as you can see, this is a data set where you will find that this is a ball by ball representation of each and every match till season 9. So you can understand how big this data goes, right? So this is like, it's unlimited data. This is a huge data set. Okay, you can see the column numbers. See, so long. It's a huge data set, right? So if you're going to talk about such a huge data set and you want to see how many leg buys were scored, it will take a little bit of time. From here, if you are going to select how many leg buys are scored, see, so all the leg buy scores are shown. Okay, so it will eventually start giving you results, but once the complication increases, once there are complicated calculations which have to be made, suppose total number of runs which has been which has been scored against a specific bowler, then for that you need to have uh, important uh, techniques so that all those things can be done easily and faster. So this is not very convenient of doing it because this requires so many ticks and tricks to do it. Okay, so this is a long process of doing it, right? So we have what we call as programming to automate this system and make our life a little bit easier. So the first programming which we know already is Python. So if you are using Python, then also you need to code a long program to just take the data and import it and then use it for your finding out the data. But if you're using pandas, the advantage of pandas is if you're using pandas, then it would become one line code, and the one line code could give you the results immediately. So it would be very easy for you to find out the data. Okay, so we are not going to I'm not going to show you the way to do it using pandas right now. I will first introduce pandas to you and I'll tell you how pandas works, and then we'll get into this data set and we'll find out results from it. Okay, so that will come up in my next videos. Regarding this video, we have uh, we have to understand the basic features of pandas. Okay, so basically pandas, as I told you, is getting back to pandas, pandas is basically a module which is present in Python. Okay, and this module has its own uh, data structures which are there to help it out. So as I told you that we can import this CSV file into Python using pandas and we can get the results very quickly. But how does that work? How does that work? We need some kind of an object which will hold the data, and those objects are basically nothing but the data structures which are provided by Python. So we are going to basically look at two very easy and important data structures which are provided by Pythons. There are more, but we will discuss about two which are there in the syllabus. One is a series and the second is a data frame. Okay, so we are going to discuss about uh, these two objects, these two data structures which are provided by Python in our tutorial. Okay, so this is very simple. We have to first understand what are the basic features of Python. So it is shown that data frame object, as I told you, it is another object, another data structure which is inside pandas, help a lot in keeping track of our data. With pandas data frame, we can have different types of data in one place. Okay, so one advantage of pandas over Python is that when you are using Python, you know that you had lists which were there, and there were 1D lists and 2D lists, multi-dimensional lists were provided possible, right? And there also you knew that you could store different kinds of data at one place. A float data, an integer data, string data, a date data, all those data can be kept at one place in one list, right? And this give you a pretty easy way to store data together which were related to each other. Suppose let me give you an example. Suppose you're storing the roll number, name, and 5 subject marks of a student in a list. Okay, so you could do that. You could just the first entry would be roll number, the second entry would be name, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh entry would be the 5 different marks of the subject, 5 different marks for the specific roll number, right? So in this way you could create a 1D list, and using 2D list you could enter more than one data for the same student, right? You can also do this with using the dictionary feature, where the key would be the roll number and there can be a list of name and the 5 different marks as a value for the dictionary. The same thing can be done in data frame also, in pandas also, but there's a big advantage of pandas over the Python. You know what? The advantage of Python, the advantage of pandas over Python is that if you're trying to find out a result out of that list, what you need to do in a list is you need to iterate over that list with using a loop and then find out what are the results which you require. Like if you want to find out the average marks for each and every student, you would have to go through the list, take the marks, add them up, and find the average, right? But in data frames, you don't need to do that. You just need to have one functionality, one line of code, and that would do it. So it's very easy. That is what is written in part number 3 also. You can see it is written, Pandas has built functionality for easy grouping. As I told you, you can group the topics together and find a result. Easy joins of data and rolling windows. These are topics which we'll discuss. Good I/O capabilities. That means it can input and output capabilities are very easy and very good. So it can easily pull data from a database, and it can store a data inside a database too. Okay, so from a database like MySQL database, you can directly pull the data and into a data frame, and if you have a data frame, you can directly push the data into a MySQL database. Okay, so it is very simple. With pandas, you can use pasty for R style syntax using doing regressions. Okay, so this is something which you do not know. I'm going to discuss about this in the next few videos. We don't need to use this regularly, but this can be used an R style syntax using regression. So we'll discuss about regressions if required. But for the basic syllabus of my for pandas in class 12, you do not need to use this too often. Okay, so tools for loading data into in-memory data objects from different file formats. As I told you that there are different tools which are available to insert data not only from a database as we saw in MySQL, but also from other places. Like now what we were discussing is a CSV. file, right? An Excel sheet CSV file. We can use CSV file also to take the data inside the data frame objects and inside pandas for doing different kind of stuff. Another thing is it is very easy to align the data in pandas. Like you saw in NumPy, the advantage over NumPy, you might remember that advantage of NumPy over pandas is that advantage of NumPy over Python is that you can regroup the data and rearrange the data according to the way you want to. Like you have a list, you have an array of 1:9, like from there are nine objects. You have an array of that, and you want to change it to a 3x3 matrix. You can do it very easily using the reshape button. So similar kind of things are available in pandas also, which gives you a hugely powerful tool to reshape data according to your needs and according to your requirements. Okay. Label based slicing, indexing, and subsetting of the larger data sets are available. So this is the same as Python. In Python also you could use substrings and subsettings and indexing and slicing. These things are also available in pandas. Okay. So let me give you a basic program of pandas. So how to use pandas? This is very easy. Okay. Suppose you have a Notepad++ file and you open Python. So it's very simple. You have to first import pandas. We'll import the pandas as PD. Okay. And this is a convention. You can use anything. You can just import pandas, or you can use pandas as PD. You can use pandas as P1. Any name you want to, and any alias name you want to give. Okay. Now, once you have this pandas list, what you can do using it is you can create a series or a data frame. Now, what we are going to do is first we are going to use a series. Now, for just bear with me now. We'll discuss about series in detail. Okay. So series, suppose the name of the series is S is equal to PD dot series with capital S. And then we are going to give a list 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. Now, what would this do? This would create a series. Print the series S. Okay. Let us see if this is working or not. Okay. Now, py pandas dot. Let's see. So, as you can see, this is the output which we found 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, you can see the shape of the data which has been there. This is the shape which is provided. So 0, 10, 1, 20, 2, 30, 3, 40, and 450. Now, what is this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? You would obviously want to ask. Like in Python, when you use the list, what would happen is it would give you a horizontal list of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let me show you. If you printed the list, print 10, sorry. If you would normally print the list, what would happen is, see, what would happen is it would print the list like this. This is the list type of printing. Now, in series printing, you would get this. This is the output of the series, right? So what is this output of the series telling you? This is telling you that there are 5 elements, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, which are present in a series with these index values. These are the index values, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the index values, okay? So basically what happens is when you create a series, it will always show you in a tabular format. It will always show you in a tabular format without headings, of course. This doesn't have a heading, but this would always show you in a tabular format. So this is the 0th position, and the first column, 0th row, 0th column. The 0th column contains the index, and the first column contains the data. Okay, so 0th row has 10, first row has 20, second row has 30, third row has 40, and fourth row has 50. Then in the end, you can see there's another line which is written d type is equal to int 64. So this is basically telling you that the data which has been provided in the series is of int 64 type. Now, one thing which is there in a series is that when you create a series, it has to have uniform values. Like all the things should be of the same data type. Okay, like if you're giving integers, then all the things should be integers. If you're giving floats, then all the things should be float. That is series. For data frame, you can use different kinds of data as well. Okay, now what is the advantage of having a series? What you can do is, if you want to find the sum of all the values, you can just simply write print s dot sum. You can just simply write s dot sum and save it and then run it, and you will find the sum of all the values as 150. This is very simple. Just one line of code and you got the answer of your question, right? So this is very simple way of dealing with Python pandas. This is just the starting. We'll discuss about series and data frames in detail. But I think that's all for today's